Admiral's log, September 3rd, 1929. We're at a crossroads. With all these new threats cropping up, I'm seriously thinking about commissioning a new battleship. It's a huge decision, the kind of investment that doesn't come easy. The resources we'd need are massive. But the question keeps nagging at me. Is it worth it? The world's changing fast, and so is warfare. Our current fleet's done us proud, but if we're going to stay ahead, we need to think big. This new battleship, I'm picturing it as a beast, packed with the latest tech, heavily armored and more firepower than anything we've got now. But it's not just about building a powerful ship. This is about making a statement. A ship like this would show everyone that the Soviet Navy means business, that we're leaders on the world stage. It could shift the balance of power, give our enemies something to think twice about. Yet I can't shake off the cost. We're talking about a lot of money, materials, and manpower. It's a gamble. It's got me weighing every possible outcome. Do we take the leap and build a ship that could redefine our Navy? Or do we stick with what we've got and spread our resources elsewhere? I keep turning it over in my mind. The new battleship could be a game changer, but it's a high-stakes move. I'm not one to shy away from tough calls, but this one's bigger than most. I'm going to need a bit more time to think it through. Maybe get some more input from my staff. One thing's for sure, whatever decision we make, it's going to shape the future of the Soviet Navy. We're standing on the edge of a new era, and the next step we take is crucial.
Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 32. Today, time for a new battleship, but first let me catch you up on what's been happening. I have been successful in an invasion over here, and I'm currently working on a second one. My fleet is out of position. I have taken over the islands over here, the Bismarck Archipelago. It's going to be adding a nice 2.6 billion to my budget. German New Guinea is next on the menu, and it is not that heavily defended, so hopefully we can take this place for our own and get the oil. As for the operations in West Africa, so far unsuccessful. So this is something that I still have to do more of. And it seems like I'm not the only interested party, because the British are walking their way in from Nigeria. So far, considering the massive amount of force that they have available, I think they'll win. So I think better spend time to get this or the Congo Free State, but that is pretty heavily defended. So we're going to take another stab at taking over Gabon. Unfortunately, I already used the naval invasion this turn. Now, Germany, when Germany goes to war, it goes to war with absolutely everybody, much to their own demise. Because I've taken off a lot of their ships, and I now only have 18 ships left, but I have not been the only one hunting them. The British, the Americans, even the Chinese have taken the fight to Germany. And it's coming at a very steep price, because they got 56 ships that are going through the repairs, and they're building another 43. But the total displacement of their navy is now 59,000 tons, which really isn't that much. I mean, I have more naval displacement than that. Even Italy has more naval displacement. Speaking of Italy, I'm not sure exactly what it is that I did or did not do, but they're at war with me. I am curious as to what they're going to fight me with, because 5 heavy cruisers and 4 lights don't exactly intimidate me. Even if they would, I have an ally. I am allied with the United States. Yes, really. I have not actually seen any direct benefits from this, except, of course, having to, not worry about another 227 American warships, and that includes 32 torpedo boats. Yep, it's almost 1930, and they still have torpedo boats. So it looks like the US Navy might have forgotten to scrap a few of their ships. Now, time for that new battleship. I have access to the modern battleship hull. I also have access to Group 4. So we're going to be building a big ship. Unfortunately, with, comparatively poor armament. Because the best guns that I can fit are 16-inch Mark 1. I'm not fitting Mark 1s, ever. My lowest tier is Mark 3. Beyond that, I'm not even willing to consider a Mark 2. Just bad. This thing reloads in 81 seconds. This reloads in 202 seconds. Its accuracy is bad. Turret rotation speed is awful. No. Just not going to do it. So, what are we going to do with this new battleship? First, we're going to make it as big as possibly can be. There we go, 69,000 tons. Our previous battleships were displacing... No, it's not the Europa. The Chesma's a battlecruiser. The Petros. Yeah, 30,000 tons. And then we had the Sinop at 46. So this is a big step up. Now, I'm going to try and make these things a bit faster. So we're going 30 knots. Price is going to go probably towards $1 billion. Which, yes, is extremely expensive. But, well, so be it. If you want to really quickly supersize the price, you go for a turbo-electric engine. And instantly you're at $1 billion. If you're going to go for for gear turbines, you're looking at 750 million. Interestingly, maintenance is similar. Whereas turbo-electric drive, I think, has some fun features, such as the increased acceleration, as well as reduced engine vibrations. Minus 25 here, it's minus 60 here. That does mean it has... Yeah, actually, whatever, fuck it. We're going to go with the turbo-electric drive. It's going to be a very expensive battleship, and I probably won't have more than 2. So, yeah, better manage these things properly. Why I'm going with this is because a very good top speed, like 72% of top speed to achieve cruise speed. Cruise speed gives you a cruise speed bonus. And that means your ship is going to get more accurate. Also, less engine vibrations means the ship is going to get more accurate. So all of these things are working very much for me in order to make this thing as accurate as possibly can be. Unfortunately, only Citadel 3. It's not spectacular. Okay, what sort of tower we got? Modern Tower 4. 38 long-range accuracy, I can work with that. And we're going to go with a Modern Secondary Tower 1 Enhanced or a Base 1. Yeah, definitely Enhanced. There. Right. Something about those lifeboats looks a little bit out of place. Super funnel. Engine efficiency is going to need work. Lots and lots of work. Forced boilers. There we go. 1.7 billion? With a what? A maintenance of 44.5 million a month? What the fuck? 45 million. Switching to gear turbines even makes this thing more expensive to run. Oh boy. Okay, we don't even have all the expensive toys yet. Here come the guns. Now, yeah, I think she's just gonna have to be, like, armament-wise, a bit on the low end. Although 13 inchers, 14 inchers can be sort of supersized to go and turn into 14.9s. Which would give me a lot more firepower, like 14.9. Longer barrels. Super heavy shells. Pickrick, tube powder. Barbettes, yes please. With this, how much damage could we do? I'm expecting to be going up against very sizable ships with this ship class. So, well, that's a bit much. Let's say, yeah, 140% quality should be good enough. This means that this ship, this gun, can now pen almost nothing on the deck. And about 10 inches of belt armor at shorter ranges. Oof. If I take this off, now I can pen at least a bit more of the deck. Reload time is 92 seconds, but that is only before I do this. Now it's 82 seconds. The problem that I foresee is that the enemy is going to have more accurate guns. So I need to either increase speed in order to close the distance faster, or I need to have long-barreled guns. But that means without like semi-capped ballistic or capped ballistic 2s, I won't really be able to do a whole lot of damage. This does a whole lot of damage. If I supersize these to 12% more, I can pen about 2 inches of armor. Damn. That goes so fast. Here. 20 kilometers. I can pen 6 inches of deck armor. Good luck finding a ship that has that level of deck armor. That's a lot of deck armor. Let's see if we can go A, B, C, X, Y. Like this. Wow, we can't. It's too heavy. It's... Huh? How is that too heavy? I don't really have that much armor. I got a 5-inch main deck. That is pretty substantial. Anti-torp 2. Like, that's nothing really extraordinary. Okay. Pull this turret back here. We're gonna make the citadel a bit smaller. The problem that I have with this hull right now is that it has 14-inch guns. 14.9, so let's say just shy of 15. Europa does too. No. Kaluga does too. But Kaluga costs you 400 million to build. Let's say 500 million. It costs you about 17 million to run. This thing costs you 3 times that. 3 times that. What are you getting? Something that's far bigger. Something that has more armor. Something that has a bit more speed. Although relative to the Kaluga, like half a knot. Do I really want this? It's the first time in this new era of 1.4 that I've really looked into building a modern battleship in the campaign. I've done plenty of these when it comes to the Shipyard Champions, but in the campaign, not really. So, I am not exactly positively surprised by the amount of price that you're paying for the pleasure of having one of these ships. What? And that's without secondary guns. I can reduce the range a bit. Everything's gotten so expensive. I think it's gone way overboard. Like, what's the price of a modern aircraft carrier again? Again, 2 billion? So this thing, corrected for inflation, is probably 10 to 12 billion. And it has 14-inch guns. It's insane. Would I rather have one of these or 3 Kalugas? Or, let's say, Chesmas? Because I can get... What? Hold on. This thing is going to cost me, let's say, 300 million. This is going to cost me 1.9 billion. So I can get 6 Chesmas for the price of one of these. I'd be paying 10 million more in maintenance. Wow. The only problem with the Chesma is it does not have a whole lot of armor. This thing would have a whole lot of armor. And would be reasonably better at defeating enemy warships. Although, if you look at the amount of armor pen that I have on this ship, and the amount of armor that I have on the ship, it would very, very quickly kill itself, if it ever encountered itself, if that makes sense. I'm not really going to be able to justify the purchase of this battleship. This is crazy expensive for what it does. Maybe later it's going to make sense. Maybe once we get better guns. But right now, I don't see it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this worth it? 50 million a month in maintenance for one battleship. I don't see it. I don't see it, and I find that unfortunate because I know that you guys, at least some of you, really like to see big battleships. But if this is the price for a 69,000 ton battleship, What is going to be the price for something that has, I don't know, about twice the displacement? Let's say the biggest ships that you can get are about 120 to 130, maybe 140,000 tons. It could be double, it could be quadruple. So you'd have a price tag of 200 million a month. And if that thing then has to go through repairs, no, it's just not worth it. It is just not worth it. Unfortunate. And it basically means that researching bigger hulls, like hull strengthening, is kind of obsolete. Because you'd much rather, at this point, have probably bigger guns with better quality, better rangefinders, and like maybe better shells. Although my shells are generally quite good. Better small guns. I think these, for now, should be the priorities, because everything else, not really. After a couple more months of badgering the Germans, the war is over. October 1930 sees peace between the Soviet Union and the Germans. Now, when it comes to the reparations, we have some interesting options here. Unfortunately, the ones that I would really like, the ones that are bringing in a lot of money, are off the table. So, I guess Rwanda is kind of the best option. I'll propose that to the Germans, and they're going to throw in the Azores and pocket change. They actually do. How about that? This is really good, because my own money is dwindling. I'm at 194 million. That's all I have left, and I'm spending 51 million a month. It's a lot. And now Britain... the British want twice that. Yeah, I'm sorry, British. I'm sorry, Britain. That will not be happening. Yeah, I'll build you some light cruisers. When it comes to the other war, because, yeah, there's always more. The Italians and I are fighting. I'm not sure what we're fighting about. I cannot go to a peace treaty with them. I'm just kind of sitting here going, what am I going to do about the Italians? Is it possible to invade Sicily? I mean, we can have a pretty good go at them, I guess. The problem is, getting my ships over there is going to be expensive. Now, let's see where I can save some money. Because there are some ship classes that I do not like, such as those modernized scouts. I'm not even going to continue repairing the Volga, which has taken some damage. These things are costing me in repairs 7 million a month. I'm going to set all of these modernized scout cruisers to mothballs and see if somebody wants to buy them. They can have them with a little bit of money, because I find that they are simply not worth it anymore. They don't have the firepower, despite the upgrades, and they're just not very useful. As for the rest, these are the two Novik-class light cruisers that Mexico just ordered. I am going to be getting a hefty payday in 5 months when the Arkhangelsk gets sold. Where is all the money going? Where's all the money going? Sinop is in the Philippine Sea, which was operating there because I was doing an invasion. Alright, let's bring all these ships home. Unfortunately, the invasion over here did not work out. German New Guinea is still there. But what I can do is bring these ships home. And I can even set... Protect is the cheapest one, right? Reducing offense, yeah. That's another problem that I currently have. My merchant navy has taken a massive hit. And because of that, I am bleeding money. If you want to repair your merchant navy, you're going to have to either pump a lot of money into it or be very patient. Or both. Now, I can either do... I can do several things. I can send these ships back and mothball them. Or I can get them all the way over to Europe and just use them there. But I think I'll just pull them back right now. I'm going to put them over here in Fort Bayard because it's nice in the middle. If China tries something, I'll hit them. If the Americans try something, I'll take over the Philippines. Yeah, famous last words. If the Japanese try something, I can have my fleet over there in 2 turns. As for the rest... We have another fleet in Libreville. The Apostle Piotr, the Europa, the Sinop, all of these expensive warships are just kind of idle. Now, does Italy have anything nice over here that we can liberate? Perhaps. How about Transvaal is too far inland, but Mozambique. It's 30,000 men over there. Oh, they're defending. So Mozambique's a little busy already. Somaliland. Or Ethiopia. There's a pretty hefty army over there, but here there's only 5,000. I might be able to take Somaliland off of them. It's not very lucrative, but it'll give my ships something to do. I mean, I'm paying for them anyway. Wait, sending them out costs me less? Not sure how that works. Usually it costs you more when you start launching ships. As for the rest, where is the money going? Follow the money. We got the big battleships. Sure, one's at sea. You're in Saipan. I don't really need the Rodistvo at the moment, so I'm going to mothball this ship. We're going to see this thing dwindle from 47 to 11 million. And all of a sudden I have money to spend, which is going to go right to the transport fleet. At sea, repairing. Everything's at sea. We got a mothballed couple of CLs. Why is this not... It's sorting it a bit weird. You're mothballed? Okay. We got a Ruski-class destroyer that's out there in Hango. Yeah, I'm done with the Germans. I mean, I'm so done with the Germans. The Germans have cost me a lot of money with this war and really didn't get me that much. So economically, this was a pretty bad war. Not that most wars are great, financially speaking, but at least you tend to get a bit more territory gain out of it in this game. Yeah, 41 million. Let's pump that into the merchant fleet, like all of it. Get the merchant fleet back up. And that'll slowly but steadily start recouping quite a bit of money. Let's go. As our fleets are moving towards Italy, well, towards Italy's continental areas, no, colonial areas, not continental, we have encountered a speed bump. We have found the Santa Maria of the Pace-class heavy cruiser. I think it's very old. 10.3-inch guns, but only 2 of them. And then we have the Minerva, probably similarly old. Let's see how well this battle fleet does against these guys. As we're moving to find the Italians, it's pretty obvious that they have the range. They've spotted Sinop, and they're able to lay some shells at her, or at least try to. So far, unsuccessfully so. Considering the vast amount of funnels this thing has. What is this? Did I accidentally leave a shared design in there? What is this? Okay. I saw the 16 8-inch guns, but I was not ready for this. Italy. What? What is that? I'm sorry. I'll try to stay more professional. The Italians have sent us, I think, an HE spammer that looks somewhat odd. I wonder how well those 8.5-inch guns are. Yeah, they're about 9.6 kilometer range. Their guns is 3rd grade. You know, I'm not going to give this thing a whole lot of opportunity to show me exactly how many fires it can set. No, thank you. Fortunately, this smoke screen is... Ooh, it's only 6 kilometers out. I'm not very enthusiastic about this smoke screen. Let's have the Dirtsky investigate. Because that most likely signifies some torpedo threat that's going to be arriving momentarily. The heavy cruiser, however, will not. She's flooding. Structural integrity falling very quickly. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be around for very long. Hello. 6 kilometer torpedo range, so the destroyers are well inside of that range. Jeez, this thing is getting lit up. There you go. That's why you don't approach the battle group. That's why you're not allowed to approach the battle group. Torpedo loadout. Underwater. Well, I probably had them. I'm not sure if they're still attached to the destroyer or if we're going to find them coming at my ships. But I feel like if they had been coming at my ships, they'd been here by now. Now, this CL of theirs... Oh, you're a museum piece. Yeah, you shouldn't be here. Then again, Italy, at least last time I checked, had a very small navy. They really do not have a lot of firepower in their arsenal. So, I'm not that surprised that we're seeing some very old ships making their way to the front line. Because if all they have left is old, then yeah, you're gonna have to send whatever you got, I guess. Now, I for one am hoping that this war with Italy is not going to last very long. I hope that with this battle out of the way, I'll be able to go to peace with them. Because as much as I would like colonies, I actually do appreciate going to peace, building up the transport fleet, and getting, I don't know, 5 years of peace. I'll settle for half of that, just to give my forces a bit of a breather. If you see earlier in the video that the battleships are going to be ludicrously expensive, I don't know how to afford that on the budget that I have right now. So either I have to make my battleships cheaper, which is very unlikely to happen, or I'll have to make my budget bigger. That second bit is more easily controllable, just by having, well, ideally, more provinces that yield territory, but also by having a lot more money come in. And you do that by going to peace and having a steady economic growth. This poor light cruiser. Yeah, this is just... Oh well. Guess the Italians shouldn't have gotten in the way there. It's a tough little ship, though. There she goes. Alright, job done. Now, I had 1,000 points of victory points against me. This should change that around nicely. Now we're 6k ahead. 5k ahead. So, maybe the Italians are now more interested in talking. I didn't sink any capital ship, so it's not like you instantly get one of those 10k point boosts and the Italians go, oh crap. Maybe we bit off a bit more than we could chew, as the AI sometimes does. Now, apparently, the army, believe it or not, has been somewhat effective in Africa without my orders, but it came at a price. We lost almost 70,000 men versus 15,000 for the Italians, but I did get another bit of territory. Yep, you can buy that, sure. I'm planning on modernizing the fleet. So I took this. Fezon Gadames. It is not the most lucrative territory, but hey, it's progress. Italy. Italy does not want to go to peace. Why does Italy not want to go to peace? Because it has almost no navy, so it'll either go to peace or I'll make it go to pieces. And I'm not the only one interested. We also got Austria-Hungary. We have... That's China, I think. Yeah. And they're very close to getting into a war with the Americans. I don't quite know why I'm not allowed to go to peace with these people. Maybe because... No, the invasion was just done. Okay, fine. We'll continue this. We're going to continue harassing the Italians, and we're going to continue taking their territory. As long as it has to be done. What I would like for research is just not really to focus on these priorities anymore, because I find that they don't... Well, I mean, the big guns and small guns are always useful to have, yes, but what I really need is another cruiser hull, because I still have a pretty old one. Unfortunately, with money being as bad as it is, like, very difficult to get a whole lot of money spent on getting my tech budget up. Because if I would want to max this out, I'd be spending 145 million more than I'm currently getting. And this is the war budget, right? This is the war budget. If at some point I go to peace, which is what I'm angling to do, I am going to get a lot less than the war chest. So plenty to do, and I hope that you'll join me for that for the next episode. Thank you for watching this one. I'll see you soon for more.